Hello and welcome to Inspired Your Grown Up Girl Talk. New episode. I'm Stacey Fleeth with Samantha Tredelia. Samantha, I was unaware that winter was coming back.
Listen,
Nobody gave me the memo. I didn't know. Last night, and I don't know what it was like where you are, but last night there was a massive thunder and lightning cell, like literally right over our neighborhood. It was the craziest night. And now it's snowing again in the mountains and it's April and I don't know what's happening. I don't
it's I don't know, it's a sign of the times. I know that there's a lot of weird celestial things happening right now. All the full moons and the retrogrades and the this and the that. I just got back from Florida spring break, which was quite lovely. The weather was definitely weird there. And for our listeners that don't know, we're based out of California. We too had weird thunder, lightning, and we're in San Francisco area, and that's not a normal for us. So
no,
I
it's
don't know, you
not.
guys. The world is topsy and turvy, but today we're gonna be just adding to just a lot of excitement with our guests today. So let's dive in.
We've got a lot to talk about transformations, about life changes, about growth and all that goes with it. A lot of inspiring to go on here. So buckle up. We have with us today Patsy James, who is founder of Patsy James Gentle Transformation, among other things, which we will get to. But Patsy, thank you so much for joining us. I know we had fits and starts about trying to get this one scheduled. So appreciate your flexibility and super happy that you are joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited. Things happen for a reason, and here we are.
Here we
Absolutely.
are.
Today was the day we were supposed to connect for whatever reason, and maybe we'll find out over the next 30 minutes. But you are a national board certified health and wellness coach. Your business is about your main business, I should say, because again, we've got some other stuff going on here, but your main business, the transformation, the gentle transformation, you talk about helping others release weight and let go of shame, which for you comes from a very personal place. And I think we're always better advisors when we're advising on things that we've experienced personally. So let's talk a little bit about your journey that led you to start Patsy James Gentle Transformation.
Oh, thank you. So I've had a huge transformation. First off, I'm 4 foot 11. I'm very little, but I'm big, if that makes sense. Big energy, small body. But in my 20s, I woke up one day and I was at 235 pounds.
And
And
that's a lot on a 4'11 frame.
Yes.
yeah, I'm 110 now, but who's looking at the number? But it's
All of us.
but the number doesn't matter, but it's just part of my story. Like I don't weigh myself anymore. But anyways, so I woke up one day and I was like, what am I doing? I'm 25 years old, 30s around the corner. If I don't do something big, I probably won't make it to 55. That's how old I am today. It's like my life is going to be heavily impacted if I do not do something drastic.
That's a shocking thought as a even as a 25-year-old because 55 I know at 25 55 seems like a really long ways off but it comes up really fast. It sneaks up
Yeah.
on you very quickly.
Yes.
And 55 is young. So to have
Mhm.
that, what was it like to have that kind of realization and like smack you in the face?
Well, I had a little boy. He was 4 years old at the time, and I'm like, I know that I'm called for to do big things, and there's a reason why God has me on this planet. And for me to be able to do it, I must be healthy. And I wasn't. And like I said, weighed 235 pounds. I was literally as round as I am tall. And I knew that if
You were a
I,
square.
yes, if I knew that when I hit 30, if I didn't have something in the works, that my needs would start going out. I would probably start having heart issues. I knew that I probably wouldn't be able to walk. I knew that I'd probably catch diabetes. I knew that the my life didn't look good. And I was single as well. And I knew that I probably wouldn't attract a quality person in my life either. And, I just looked at myself and I'm like, you know what, Patsy, this is not you. This is not you. And so I decided that I was never going to be at that weight again. And that's how it all started.
So I think there's a lot of women that look in the mirror and for one reason or another, weight or whatever else it is, they kind of make this conscious decision or say to themselves, "This is not the energy I want to be putting out in the world. I need to change." And then a week later, that has gone. That thought bubble has popped, and they're back into what like I don't. I literally, how long does the average diet last? Like 4 days? I
Girl,
mean, what,
let me,
what,
oh,
what did you, what did you do to finally make yourself start, and how did you stick with it? Because 100 pounds, you lost a person.
120.
You
I
lost a
lost 100.
person.
And so I like to say the words release. I released 120 pounds because I will never, ever, have that weight on me ever again. And at that point in my life, I had tried every diet in the book. I had tried everything, you name it, I've done it. And it wasn't working. I'd go on the next latest craze diet. It's like, okay, Monday morning I'll start. By Monday at 3 o'clock, I'm already in the cupboard digging for Doritos. Like,
Yeah.
diets don't work. Restriction does not work. Shame does not work. And I had to go through all that to get to that point to realize that, okay, something drastic has to be done because diets aren't working. I've tried everything in the book. I need help. I literally need help. Like I can't do this on my own. And I know that there's something better for me. So what I did was I walked into, now this is my story. I'm not saying this is for everybody, but I needed a tool. And I walked into a surgeon's office and I said, I need help. I want gastric bypass. I want it now. And I'm tired of starving, starving myself, living unhealthy. I want to make a big change. And to make a long story short, the surgeon looked at me and said, you don't have enough money for this. Like you don't have, your insurance will not cover this. Do you have $30,000 in your account that you can just pay for it? And I'm like, no. And through a lot of conversations, he's like, there's something I see in you. And he said, I'm going to do it for what you got. And so he took what little
Wow.
money I had
Wow.
Pay what
and
you can and let me help
he,
you.
he just said, you know what? I see something in you. I'm getting ready to retire. And this is back in the day where they didn't have the laparoscopic surgeries. They cut you wide open. And I told him, I said, I want the most drastic surgery you got. So I went into the hospital. I was there for 5 days. They gave me the surgery. I was so excited. I literally danced into the operating room. So I had the surgery, and that's when the true transformation started for me. I'd failed all those years beforehand. I had the surgery, but I knew that it wasn't a get rich quick. It wasn't your life's going to change. The heavens are going to part. The angels are going to sing. No, this is where the real work happened because I had to learn how to release the weight, not lose it. And that's when the real work started happening.
What,
And
tell us a little more what you mean by that.
you can lose anything. Like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose 10 pounds before so and so's wedding, or there's a vacation coming up. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to fit into
Okay,
this
I
dress.
can't do that, but we'll go with the you can lose anything comment.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like you're like, I'm gonna go on this starvation diet and I'm gonna fit into
I'm gonna
this
drink
outfit.
water for 16 days so I can fit in that
I'm gonna eat
dress.
ice pops.
Yeah.
Yep. And then what happens the next day or that night? You're freaking going through the drive-through and getting everything you can and eating everything. So those things don't work. And so I was just like, okay, I will never be this weight ever again. I will do whatever it takes to get there. And you guys, I did everything wrong. I
Okay.
did I
Tell
did everything
us.
wrong. So my whole thing was like, okay, I'm 235 pounds, I'm 4'11. The BMI charts, which I don't like, said
I
I should
hate
weigh
those
95
things.
pounds. I should weigh 95 pounds. That'd be the perfect weight for me. So I thought, okay, well, when the scale says 100, then my life will be perfect. So literally stared at that scale. In 6 months' time, ladies, 6 months, I weighed 100 pounds. I went
You
from
you lost 135 pounds in six
Wow.
months.
Yeah, I lost it. I didn't release it. So I got on the scale that day. I looked at the scale. It said 100. I looked up in the mirror and I was expecting the heavens to part, the angels to sing, my bank account to be overflowing, my dream man knocking on my door. I looked
None
in
of
the
that
mirror.
happened, huh?
No, I looked in the mirror and I was gray. I lost my hair. I was saggy and baggy. I looked like a cancer victim or a drug addict that you see on the corner. I went from one extreme to the next. I was malnourished. I I had hurt my health more than hurt it. So it took me about 2 years to correct all that. And I can happily say 30 years later that I'm the healthiest I've ever been. I'm 55 years old. And through all this work that I've gone through with myself, and I must tell you, in the last 2 years, I've helped 193 people
Wow.
release over 5,000 pounds.
Oh, damn.
That's a very cool claim to fame. I like that.
So with that work and the work of my own, I've discovered the secret to lasting change.
Are you going to tell
Yeah.
us?
So at what point did you decide this, like, I get it. I now understand it. Other people need this. Let me go get certified. Let me go get the education behind this to stand behind me so I can really walk people through this.
I don't want people looking at me as someone who's just trying to push products because I don't do that. I'm not a coach of whatever company trying to get you to buy my product. No, I am literally considered a medical professional now because I got my national board certification of health and wellness coaching, and it was hard. The test was hard.
Yeah, that's no
I
joke.
I did
Mhm.
not pass the first time. I went back, I paid the money, locked myself up in my room again. I studied, and I passed it. And so anyways, I want people to take me seriously that I do know what I'm talking about, and I'm serious about spreading inspiration and hope to as many people as possible that the diet culture is hurting us. The diet culture of the hamster wheel. It's like get rich quick, join the new fad, join the new diet.
Well,
You
now
know,
you have everybody popping pills and taking shots. And so it's a whole
hmm
different, I mean, the results they're seeing are dramatic and drastic, like the surgeries are. But I know a lot of people that are on these different, solutions, quote unquote, but they're not willing to change their lifestyle. And the moment that they stop, you're not hearing like great things happening. So, Stacy and I both fully, we're both people that, work out and try to live. We could probably be a little healthier sometimes, but for the most part,
too.
we
Me
Always.
subscribe
too.
to a lifestyle change of, living a different way. And I think really what you're saying is, that is what this is about. It's not just about the silver bullet. Yes, you can get the instant result, but the long-term results are really what matters the most. Now, something I really want to talk to you about because I'm, reading in your bio, just even on your headline here, is that you're a certified ketamine coach. I want to talk about that because that is a world I know nothing about, and I
Oh,
find
we
it,
we know about ketamine. It killed Matthew Perry. That's
yes,
Yeah.
literally what we all know.
that's it.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I
hmm
didn't even know that there were certified ketamine coaches. Like I didn't know that was a career choice.
So do you mind if I go back a step,
Yeah.
Samantha?
Please.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were talking about changing your lifestyle. I don't see it as that. I see it as literally changing your mindset and loving your body today.
Hmm.
Loving your body today.
Oh, sister, that's a big hurdle for 90+% of women. Let's be honest.
Loving yourself today. And let me just say a little gold nugget. What you feed it today is an act of love or an act of hate.
Are the
And so
Cadbury
that's,
mini eggs in the hate category? Just
but no,
asking for
just
a
so you
friend?
know, no food is bad. There's not one article of food is bad in my book. It's all about without shame and restriction. It can happen. It's happened to me. And I've helped 193 people see this as well, where you can enjoy that Cadbury egg without shame or guilt or restriction. Can you believe that? Can you imagine a world where you can go into a party and there's cake, there's nachos, there's wine, there's food, and you can enjoy it without shame, guilt, or restriction and be healthy?
But don't
That's
you
When you
think when I say changing your lifestyle, I mean lifestyle to me is mindset. It's the whole nine yards. So it's not
100%,
it's not just
100%.
like I'm gonna not go through
Yeah.
that door anymore. It's moderation. It's understanding. Like if I'm gonna do that and it's gonna make me feel like that, or I know that that doesn't serve me in the best way. It's like you make these different decisions, but it's like I always hear the analogy like if you go to the gym for 3 days and then you don't go for 4 months, you're never, it's like just a consistency, I think, is the
Yeah.
mindset shift and the lifestyle shift. It's
Yeah.
kind of where I go with it. But I think
Yeah.
a lot of people have such a hard time getting there and then sticking with it. I think the sticking with it part, like people get to the top of the mountain, they just don't know then how to like, get down in the right ways, I guess.
100%, Samantha, 100%. So how I see it is, well, health and wellness is a journey, not a destination. Like
Yes.
I have my good and bad days too. Like I'm human, I may get my feelings hurt or whatever, and I, want to go bury in the ice cream tub or I'm saying, like life happens, but it's a journey, not a destination. It's all about freeing ourselves of the shame and the restriction that does the trick for people that I work with and myself. And that's where the certified conscious ketamine coach comes in. So I last November, just recently, I was a client and I went through this amazing experience with conscious ketamine coaching. And this isn't about the ketamine, it's about using it as a tool to 10% of it. And it's the 30 days of integration afterwards that is life changing. So I went into it so curious and I came out a different person. And I'm just like, before I went on my journey, I literally got downloaded a message from God saying, you must learn how to do this to help your clients with another amazing tool. And what it does, if it's done correctly in a safe environment with a physician, with someone who's trained and low dose under the tongue, um, it will help you open the doors to your brain and get down deep into your subconscious and see things that you didn't know was there that you need to release.
So is it like a psychedelic?
It's not. It's
Yeah.
it's kind of, but it's legal, FDA approved, but it basically helps you connect to your higher self quicker. So my coaching works. My clients are doing great, but I see the conscious ketamine as a way to have it help them faster. And so that's where the lasting change comes in with coaching. And if you want to use the ketamine to get there faster, great. But once you figure out those things that are keeping you stuck and blocked to be in your highest, best self, and that includes releasing weight, life changing. Life changing. I've done it twice now. I signed up for the Conscious Ketamine Academy. I went through that, and part of that was a 5 day experiential retreat. Where so for 5 days we were together learning more about how we can help others. And I was able to give a ketamine journey, and I received one. And yeah, so I'm adding that to my practice as well.
So is
It's
the
changing
ketamine like
lives.
an ayahuasca thing? Is it like a plant? Like I don't
Yeah,
like what is
I don't know anything. I don't know anything about it.
Okay. It basically takes you on a journey. You do it under your tongue. It's medicine. It's not
What did the
plant-based.
FDA originally approve it for? Because I'm
Or
feeling like this is a use that maybe
yes,
developed over time.
100%. It was designed to be used in the ERs for helping people get out of pain quick.
okay.
Okay,
So
okay.
in layman's terms. And then what they discovered is that low doses under the tongue. You can do it in the IV as well, but I like the under tongue better because it's a lower dose and it just, you're able to connect with your higher self quicker and better, and you can see areas in your life that need to be unstuck. I'll share with you mine. Do you want to hear what
Let's
Yeah.
go,
became
girl.
unstuck for
Let's
me?
go.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
Let's
absolutely.
do this.
So I was raised in a very strict environment as a child. You might want to call it a cult. And I escaped it about 30 years ago, if that kind of, the numbers line up with releasing weight. And during my session, um, I was literally like I felt like I was with God. This may sound really weird to some people, but I felt like I was with God. I was in this peaceful place and I felt like I was just so in touch with my spiritual being, whatever you believe. And I just felt so beautiful and it was just gorgeous and I felt at peace. And I'm like, this is higher consciousness. This is God. This is the universe. And I was just seeing it and enjoying it. And then I was like, well, where's the evil in the world? I know there's evil out there. Where is evil in the world? And in my journey, what I saw, to my left was these brown totem pole thingamajiggies, and they started turning black and they fell down towards me. And it came very clear that was the cult that you grew up in. That's the evil. They used the Bible as a way to control people. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, that makes sense. So now I want to read the Bible again. I want to like read the stories for what it really is, not as a way to control people, as a way, stories as a way of life. And so
Okay,
at that,
so but you see that, so you see that, and you make that connection of this is these totem poles turning black and falling represent the cult that I was raised in and the weight that I carry from that. How do you release it? How do you let that
so
go once you've identified that?
perfect question. Thank you. At that moment where I was experiencing that vision, right at that moment, the three-fourths of my vision was red like flowers coming towards me. And I realized that was love pouring into me. I get emotional just thinking about it. It turned into like flowers and roses pouring into me. It was like love. So once I realized that that was the true evil, and then love came in. And then after that, my coach, I had 30 days of integration with her. So 24 hours later, we had a 2 hour session where we dug deep into that. And I was able to express what that was like and was able to release all of the fact that I realized that that was the evil. And, growing up, I was always told that that was the only way to heaven, that they were the truth. And what I realized was no, that was actually the evil teaching me that. And so much weight came off of me, literally. I just felt so much relief that my confidence has grown so much since November. And I'm able to get on stages now and tell my story. And it may sound crazy to some people, but I just needed that little boost. And because of that experience, I'm adding it to my toolbox. It's a tool that I use for people who want it. Obviously, not for everybody, but yeah.
So are you finding yourself, because of your past and, this experience that you have being very unique, able to communicate and help other people in these types of not so great situations that might not know that there's like a way out or that there is like life after? Are you finding that you're able to connect with these individuals?
100%. My whole story is I led the way when I left. A lot of other people followed me. But I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Duggars, 19 Kids and Counting. I'm very familiar with that story. The way I grew up was actually a lot more strict than that. But I don't know if you've heard the latest news, what's been happening with them. But there's a lot of stuff coming out. And so I have such empathy for the victims in that case that I do want to specialize and attract people who've gone through that kind of trauma because I know what it's like.
Well, I have to believe that people who have gone through that trauma relate so much to you and probably honestly struggle to they're going to look at other people and go, you don't even know what I've been through. And they look at you and you're like, yeah, you've been there. But so as a early 20 something woman, like I got to ask, because this is, I think, something that could inspire a lot of people who are in a tough situation. How did you get the the guts to walk away? Like, I don't, how do you pull yourself out of something like that?
Stacey, that's a great question. I get asked that a lot, and I really don't know how to answer it. But the only thing that I can say is I knew that it was wrong. I didn't know how or why. I just knew in my deep, deep core gut, my soul, my being, that it was wrong and something was wrong, and I had to flee it. I left with no education. I left with no money. I left with no support. I was shunned.
I
I
mean, this sounds
literally
like a solid plan.
I babysat. I babysat during the day. I waited tables at night. I was gonna make it, and it took me about 20 years to fully detox. And come to find out, just this past November, I had more detoxing to do.
It's fantastic.
Well, the thing that kills me, I mean, I'm like such a junkie for like Netflix documentaries. It's like the story of my life. And I was actually on a plane yesterday flying home watching some crazy religious cult thing. And then I was watching some yoga. Like these girls were like going to yoga classes, and this guy was like this creepy, like sex trafficking creep all over the globe doing all this horrible stuff. And it's like, how is this? I mean, and this stuff's been going on this is not new or unique. It's just the veil is being pulled a little bit, and women, are getting out, and people are, breaking these things that they've been into for years. I mean, how in today's world, I guess, are these things still around? Like, it's crazy to me that like people aren't like hip to knowing like, oh, that's not right, or that's not the way you should be living, or then I think to myself like, well, what right is it of me to tell someone how to live? But like when you're sitting here seeing young women be abused, you're like, this shit's fucked up, right? And why are we still
100%.
doing this? I don't know,
Yeah.
it makes my blood boil.
I'm with you, girlfriend. I am so with you. I was born into it. So can you imagine being born into something and being brainwashed for those formative years? And
Well, I
then
think for you being born into it, like you literally don't
That's
know
it. You don't
anything
know.
else. I was raised in Seattle. I didn't know it didn't rain everywhere all the time because that's just what you know. And like then I went to college in Southern California and I was like, oh, it doesn't rain here all winter. Like, I mean, literally, like that's all you knew.
that's all I knew. Yeah. And I was taught that the world is bad. I wasn't allowed to watch TV. I never looked at a TV till I was 25. I
Wow.
was 25 years old. Yeah. Not allowed to play with the neighborhood kids. I went to the school in the building. Like I was very sheltered. I didn't, even now, you guys, I get so embarrassed. Someone will be like, you know that movie, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I have no idea. They're like, what? You don't know, blah, blah, blah. I said, I don't. I'm sorry. And they're like, oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm like, it's okay. It's like, it makes me sad and frustrated sometimes because I don't know things, even at 55 years old. Like I'm still a little naive about some things. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I was in that little bubble. And when I got out of it, boy, did I have to learn a lot quickly. And it was
Patsy,
it was
when's the
hard.
book coming out? You got to write a book. Like, you've
Yeah.
Yeah,
got the
I
story,
definitely want
girlfriend.
to. Yeah, I have a lot of stories to tell and share. And my hope and my dream is that I got my voice back, you guys. I got my voice, period. And now I want to just shout from the mountaintops and share and bring inspiration and hope to everybody that you don't have to live the way you are today. If you want to change, you can. It's as simple as just, not as simple, but it's as clear as drawing a line in the sand and then figuring out how you're going to keep that promise to yourself. And it is possible.
It is possible. And like to come from like the most craziest of circumstances, it's like, yes, you've had this journey of, the weight loss, but then there's like so many more layers to just like your story. And that part I think is just wild. And, you
Thank
know,
you.
connecting with like wild in the best ways, because it's like, it's so just like for someone that's gone through such a, if we're gonna, I don't mean it in a negative way, but like a traumatic experience in your life, like to not just wall up in a ball and be like, I'm just gonna be over here. Like you took it and you really like shook it up and you're like, yo, like I'm gonna take this and make it something positive. And you had mentioned before when we started chatting, be able to connect with even just like one person or the one woman out there that's in a really bad place, or, is in a situation where she needs to hear that there is some light at the end of the tunnel.
There's always hope and there's always a chance and there's always a better there's always something better. And the thing about it is, we can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we handle it. And I want to take my life experience, and I am taking my life experience and helping so many other people. And I'm grateful I went through what I went through. I will do it again because I am watching people's lives change in front of me. And it's not me doing it. I'm literally like grateful that I can share inspiration and hope. And I'm glad I went through all that because you know what? Life's better. Tomorrow's a new day. And today might be really bad and some things might be happening, but there's always tomorrow.
There is always tomorrow. And I hope that everybody gets online and checks out on Instagram is the best place. It's Patsy James Fit Over 50, right on Instagram. She's got a great page with fun reels, and you can follow Patsy's journey. Patsy, we, like Stacy had mentioned, took us a minute to get us, settled into a date to record. But man, I am really really honored to be able to share space with you. And I hope that everybody gets out there this week and is inspired.